Hi everyone, please enjoy these stories about the art of cross-dressing. We are a young channel, so liking and subscribing goes a long way. Enjoy! High heels were going to be the cherry on top of my new outfit I had just ordered. I had been fascinated with cross-dressing for a long time, but finally decided to take the final step and order my first outfit. I lived alone in an apartment in the city center of one of the largest cities in the world. I worked a standard 9-to-5 job that had great benefits, but never seemed to pay me enough to leave. One weekend, I decided that I was going to take the final step and purchase my first feminine outfit. I created a new Amazon account with an email that I didn't commonly use. I decided that I would go all black for my first outfit. Unconsciously, I think I was planning to wear it out at night, so I thought that the black would be the best color. I ordered a black wig, a black dress, and a black pair of heels. It was Thursday when I ordered them, and Amazon told me they would arrive midday on Friday. I was always so amazed with how fast Amazon shipped. Time seemed to run slow while I was waiting for the package to arrive. I went to bed and arrived at work on Friday morning, hoping that would help pass the time easier. Unfortunately, I received a notification while at work that the black heels were out of stock and that they would only be able to deliver the dress and wig. A huge wave of disappointment rolled over me. I knew the outfit would not be complete without a pair of heels. While I sat in my cubicle at work, I was brainstorming how I was going to fix this issue. I decided that the best thing for me to do would be to stop by a women's store and pick out a pair of heels on the way home. It was going to be a little risky, but I had the added advantage of allowing me to make sure that the heels really fit. As I daydreamed about the heels, I got a notification that the package from Amazon had been delivered. It dawned on me that this was real now. I was really going to dress up like a woman. The rest of the workday went by fast, and I was let out a little earlier than usual since it was Friday. I thought that Macy's would be the best place to get a pair of heels. It was such a big store, and hopefully no one would really notice me. Going on a Friday also meant that the store would be crowded, which I hoped worked in my favor. There was a Macy's 10 minutes away from work that I drove to after I was let out. Once I entered the store, I was immediately hit by a wave of nervousness. I quickly retreated to the men's section and pretended that I was browsing for men's clothes. As I gained more courage, I slowly made my way over to the women's section. There were so many different types of heels. I had already mentally changed my size to women's size and knew that I was about a 12. This was on the larger side, so there were fewer heels for me to select from. Perhaps this made it easier for me. There were only 2 pairs of black heels that matched my size on display. One I thought was quite ugly, so the decision of which one to buy wasn't a hard one. I looked down the aisle, and there was no one anywhere to be seen. Conveniently, there was a stool placed near the heels that could be used to sit on while you were trying them on. I took the box off the shelf and sat down. I again looked to make sure that the coast was clear. I opened the box and examined the heels. They looked massive compared to the ones on display. I slid off my shoes and quickly put on the heels. The length was right, but I felt like it squeezed my toes a lot. Maybe this was normal for heels. I buckled up one, then put on the other and buckled it up. Right as I heard the sound of the buckle closing, I heard the sound of someone approaching. I heard a woman's voice say, "Hello, can I help you?" I looked up to see a Macy's employee looking at me with a big grin on her face. I stuttered, barely able to say, I'm okay." She nodded and asked, "Are those for you?" I shook my head and quickly explained that they were for my wife, and we happened to be the same shoe size. I could tell that the woman knew I was lying. She then said, "Well, we need to really make sure that they are a good fit then." She asked me to stand up and try to walk in them. I wobbled up and down the aisle. She was holding in a smile. She said, "Well, it looks like they fit. Perhaps you could improve your form." For the next 15 minutes, I got a little private lesson in how to walk in heels. Luckily, very few people saw me. I actually learned a lot and felt a lot more confident. Once I was done, I bought the shoes and left the store feeling great. I quickly drove home to get my package. I didn't like leaving the package out for so long in case someone decided to steal it. My package was there when I arrived, and I took it inside. I double-checked that the door was locked before going to my bedroom to try on my new outfit. The dress fitted great. I probably should have picked a more conservative fit, since I didn't fully account for the fact that a woman's medium was a lot smaller than a men's medium. It was still definitely a look. The wig fitted great, and came with a hair cap that helped it look more real. It was easy to tell it was a wig, but I thought it didn't look bad on me. And then, finally came the heels. I put them back on and walked around a bit in full outfit. I felt great. There was something so empowering about dressing up like that. It was hard to put the feeling into words. I would describe it as a feeling of immense freedom and excitement at the same time. I really wanted to wear the outfit out immediately. Unfortunately, I didn't have any makeup, so I decided to wear a mask to hide my identity. I knew that I couldn't just leave my apartment dressed like this in case any of my neighbors saw me. I packed my outfit in a bag and walked a mile or so away from my house. I then went into a Starbucks and quickly changed inside of the bathroom. I put my men's clothes back into the bag. I came out and quickly walked out of the Starbucks. Out of the corner of my eyes, I could tell that a few of the workers noticed my sudden transformation. They all seemed to find it pretty funny. I walked maybe 5 to 6 miles around the city while dressed up. I expected people to glare at me or even yell at me, but no one seemed to care that much. This made me feel immensely relieved. I decided that I was going to definitely do this again sometime. Please like and subscribe if you would like to hear more about my cross-dressing adventures. See you next time.